My name is Sifu David Ross, and I'd like to welcome you to the new martial revolution and the Lion's Roar martial arts system. On here you're going to find weekly lessons introducing you to the method. We're going to start off with some basic technique and keep building on it, building on it, building on it. You'll have eventually an entire curriculum on here. And later on, what we'll do is we'll be offering seminars if you want to train this in person. And at those seminars, there'll also be certifications. So if you want to get certification and ranking through this. He says, your body already has power. You have to learn how to use your body to generate power. You were there when he said this, right? So he started talking about the core, which is something I talk about also. You know, your core, which is about from the tips of your knees through about your shoulders. That's the muscles that are going to get you the most out of it. And what you have to do is you have to be aware of it and engage it. So he says that a lot of the quote-unquote exercises, whether they're Qigong or internal or whatever you want to call them, are just about creating body awareness, right? Going through your form is to create body awareness. And I said this even before I started studying with him, is the nice thing about Tai Chi is you're doing it slow, right? Jen can appreciate this, right? So you can take the time to actually see what your body's doing. If I tell you jab, you do jab, you do jab, jab. It's hard to see what you're doing because you're doing it fast. If I tell you, like this, you have all the time in the world to think about and to go, oh, well, that's not right. That's got to turn this way. You know, oh, well, my wrist is like this. That should be like this. And, you know, oh, my elbow's not bent. I'm not on my chin. When you go slow, it's the greatest opportunity. I used to say, you know, you should do kickboxing like Tai Chi. Do it slow so that you see like where everything lines up, right? Your knuckles to your wrist, to your elbow, to your shoulder should line up. But if you're doing this, so your hips and shoulders have to move on everything you do. It's a universal concept in Chinese martial arts is what I'm getting at. And if you do it, the techniques will work. If your technique is not working, most of the time it's because you're not using your whole body. Because most times when you first say that to somebody, you start thinking about nothing, like the word nothing goes through your head, right? You start thinking about, I'm thinking about nothing. No, and now you're thinking about something. Just try to have an absence of thought. If you go to a Zen retreat, that's what they're going to make you do for like most of the time you're there. And it's the easiest and the hardest thing to do. Just turn your brain off. Turn it off at first because your brain is usually like static. It's like feedback. And what you want to do is get rid of that feedback so that you have like perfect silence, stillness, right? And perfect stillness is also not possible because what's going to happen is you're going to get like biofeedback. Your body is going to start telling you stuff and you're going to start moving a little bit. Some of that is to find a comfortable position. Some of that is increasing the awareness of your body, where your injuries are, you know, and awareness. And that's where you're going to start getting awareness. Then I want you to start like thinking about your whole body, like almost starting with like your big toe. And then start thinking about like your instep, like the top of your foot. Think about your ankle. Think about your knees. Think about your hips. You may like move a little bit as you think about this. You may. It's okay. See what happens, in other words. And there's no right or wrong because Ron's body is not Maxwell's body, is not Frank's body, is not Eric's, is not EJ's. Everybody is going to have a different experience. And again, if you wanted to make your standing posture this, or bunny ears, that's okay. What we're just trying to do is find a position where we can be still and just start to feel things. It says that the two hardest positions in yoga are not the things where like you have your foot behind your head and your head is between your legs or whatever. It's standing in line. Just standing, like what you're doing kind of now. So, you know, the tree in yoga is a little useless. It's a very hard posture, right? I'm going to teach you your first yoga posture. Everybody goes, I paid money for this? Yeah, you did. And then line. When you do the corpse, again, they call it the corpse line because they want that absence of thought, right? A corpse doesn't think. It just is. You just do it. And you will feel, if you do it correctly, you've done it right, and Frank has done it. You get immensely heavy quickly. Your whole body will sinks because You're not using your musculature at all, and so like it all just sort of sinks in. But this is also like, I don't believe in any kind of magic. But again, if I just sort of let my weight sink, and you actually derive this from relaxation, not from tensing. And you sink, and you make yourself heavy. And this is practical application. But what you want to think about is being erect, like keeping your spine erect. So you do this with higher weight. And all I want to do right now, right, is a nice position to keep me erect, because if I tend to do this, it's going to do this. So if you put your hands on your knees, keep you erect. Just think about breathing into your nose and out through your mouth. Into your nose and out through your mouth. And what I want you to do actually is close your eyes, right? Because that's the easiest way you won't focus on it. The only thing you can focus on is maybe just my voice. But at a certain point, don't even worry about that. Just think about into your nose, out through your mouth. And what you want to kind of do, where's the sounds, is think about with your mind the area that's a little below your belly button, which is your center or your dome. So kind of try to put your attention there. Feel what's going on in there as you're breathing. Usually doing some belly breathing, so when you inhale, you feel a little expansion, and you feel a little bit of contraction as you exhale. And while you do that also, try to loosen your shoulders. Try to loosen your neck. But keep your crown of your head, like the top of your head, still up into the sky. Like if you were a marionette and somebody with strings was holding you from the ceiling. But do that without being tense in your shoulders or your back. Spine is straight, crown of your head to the ceiling, and nice and flat. Now what you're going to kind of do is pull your elbows in and turn your palms up to the ceiling so the backs of your palms are on your knees. That means your palms are up to the sky. Just try to breathe and relax. As long as your spine is straight and your head is erect, just try to feel what's going on in your body. What's tight, what's sore, what feels good, what feels bad. Try to get rid of any of the tenseness. And just sort of relax. Not to the point where you fall over. You know, you're not like the guy that was on my subway train and falling on his face for a couple minutes. Try to sort of relax. Breathe into it. And your breath should be nice and normal. Don't let it get carried up. Sometimes when we're tired, we breathe too quickly. Or sometimes we get distracted and we breathe too slowly. Try to find the natural breath. I'm giving you an opportunity to totally relax, go into a corpse position. So literally. All right. Now you want your head straight, okay? You're going to have your palms up at your sides. Some of you will be very tight, some of you will feel like you have to be more open, depending on how your shoulders are. Very rarely will you have your toes actually pointing completely up. Your feet will just naturally sort of want to open up. Once you find this position, and you're comfortable, in other words, sometimes you may have to stretch your neck out, sometimes you may have to rearrange your hips, whatever, just close your eyes. Think about your breathing in through your nose, out through your nose, out through your nose. And as you relax, since you're completely lying down, you sort of give up trying to control your body. what you want to do is sort of just give in to whatever gravity wants to do to your body. So you start feeling heavier, and you'll feel parts of your body sinking into the ground. Don't clench anything. Don't pull anything. Just let yourself sink by gravity naturally into the ground. And a good place for your mind to be. Just start thinking about gravity. Just start thinking about what's pulling you down and what's being pulled down. And just be nice and flat and relaxed. In through your nose, out through your mouth. As that becomes, I don't want to say uncomfortable, but unlikely, then you'll be in through your nose, out through your nose. Just try to relax. I told you, you can't think about nothing, because as soon as you think about nothing, you're thinking about something. So, usually the easiest trick is start from 200 and count down. So, 200, 199, 198. Go at your own pace. But get to 0. Now, what you'll get to 2, 1, 0. And when you get to 0, you can open your eyes and you can get up at your own relaxed pace. Feeling of nothing, but it's important. If you're not aware of your body, how can you be aware of anything external to your body?
I used to do that in
yoga. Yeah.
not yoga, gymnastics in my school.
Okay. Well, there's an interesting history between yoga and gymnastics, like which came first, the chicken or the egg. But again, it's part of it is you work really hard, so then you have to learn how to relax. Because if you just have one or the other, you have to have balance in your life. Second is, you got to blow off some steam. You've just gotten like really worked up. Now you got to let everything slow down. But there's something a lot to be said for your own body awareness. sustaining meditations. It doesn't. Power's right there, it's in your muscles, it's in your core. But if you don't know how to get your awareness of your body, you can't find that low sense release. What happens is when you do standing meditation, you get awareness of your body. And experiences of awareness are all different. Like some people fall asleep, some people start getting violent twitches. That's okay, right? So as you understand the meditation, all of a sudden, like, stuff shakes. I've heard all kinds of weird explanations. Oh, it's just chi. But just biofeedback, just, stuff that's in your body working itself out. Sometimes something feels really tight, and it just wants to move. Sometimes it feels really tight, and it just wants to do nothing. You just want to go limp. The good thing about this position, especially, is it's very easy to go limp. Just let go of everything. This is a good way to prevent injuries. It's excellent for your body awareness. And I can't always do it with all my classes. It's a nice way to end the classes. Just advance people because this is everybody. Again, it's about learning that everything is alright. Martial arts are too much about this is right, this is wrong. This is a good way to show you, the joke that was that. Is it this or is it this? Yes. When you're lying in corpse, whatever your body decides to do, it's okay. When you're doing seated, first, what do you go for? If I just told you to sit here and start doing the first gong, lean gong, everyone would be like, real stiff and be like. So I started off, I had to just breathe, just relax, and just feel like, where are my shoulders supposed to be? Where are my spine supposed to be? Where are my hands? Unless you feel like, no, I want to release my neck. I want to move my shoulders. It's all okay. And again, since we play really hard, I think most martial arts people forget about this. We need to have some methods of relaxation to undo, all that pent-up energy. So I thought I would just give you a little bit of the flip side of this. Of course, a lot of internal people become obsessed with this and they forget that there's also kicks and punches and stuff. You gotta have both. Yoga, for example, has become like this fatty thing that people do, to feel that they're one with their navel and their granola. We used to do warrior training. That's why you have warrior series and you have very aggressive forms of yoga. And I tend to think that if you do martial arts even for health, there's nothing wrong with that. There are a lot of people that do that. But you have to still do it with some truth. You still have to have some awareness of your martial. For example, I tell somebody if they're doing martial arts for health and you can't hit a bag, just punch it and kick it and get some thuds out of it. You're not really doing martial arts for health. I don't know what you do, but you're not really doing martial arts. So you should be able to have technique, express power. And if you never punch anybody else, even if you never do wrestling on the mat and stuff. Right? I mean, we do that a lot with people now, right? But at least they can throw punches, they can throw kicks, they know stance, they know posture. And that's important also because wrong posture leads to injuries. Wrong execution of technique leads to injuries. So you have to always find balance. Life is always about balance. Buddhism is about balance, Taoism is